Josh Sweat to Chicago. Two Sweats on the same defensive line. Same last name, same motor, same style wrecking quarterbacks from opposite sides. And according to insider Jordan Schultz, the Bears are on that list. But before you lose your mind, there's a number the Cardinals are going to demand that is going to make you think twice about whether this trade actually makes sense for Ryan Poles. And while that rumor is blowing up on social media, Brad Biggs from the Chicago Tribune confirms the Bears already brought in a defensive end for a workout last week, a name that almost signed with another team back in April. And that deal fell apart for a reason Hollis Hall needs to know before they put pen to paper. But what nobody in the Windy City is talking about tonight is what Pro Football Network just dropped about one of the most respected leaders in this locker room. And if that move happens, it completely changes how this defense looks in 2026. Bear down, let's get into it. Hear me out. Last season, this defense finished dead last in pass rush win rate, 31st in the entire league, and 29th in pressure percentage. That is not a small problem, fam. That is a cry for help coming straight from the line of scrimmage. Ryan Poles knows it, Ben Johnson knows it, and the market knows it too. Because right now there are names available that could change everything. Let's start with the hottest one, Josh Sweat. Yeah, that one. The Arizona Cardinals defensive end, a Pro Bowler, 29 years old, with a motor that never shuts off. According to NFL insider Jordan Schultz, Sweat is drawing interest from multiple teams right now. And guess who's on that list? The Chicago Bears. And the Windy City fan base is absolutely losing it on social media. Do it. Trade for Sweat. Ryan Poles, please. We could have the Sweat times Sweat combo. And look, I don't blame anyone. Because if you're thinking what I'm thinking, that is too good not to go after. Montez Sweat is already on the left side causing problems. Now picture Josh Sweat lining up on the right side. Two Sweats. Same last name, same age, same style of play. Offensive coordinators around the league would not sleep, literally. Us, bro, just saying Sweat Brothers out loud gives me chills, and it still may. But let's be real for a second. There are two actual questions here. Are the Cardinals willing to deal him? And if yes, what do they want in return? Arizona is not giving away a player of that caliber for nothing. You'd have to move real assets, and the Bears don't have an unlimited supply of premium picks just sitting around. Look, I could be wrong, but I think this rumor has more substance than smoke. Poles has shown that when he wants someone, he goes and gets them. The question is whether the price makes sense. And while that was blowing up on the internet, beat reporter Brad Biggs from the Chicago Tribune dropped a more concrete bomb. The Bears brought in A.J. Epinesa for a workout last week. Epinesa, former second-round pick, played with the Bills. 2.5 sacks in 16 games last season, and before that, 18.5 sacks over 3 seasons from 2022 to 2024. He's not a superstar, but he's not just some random name either. What makes this visit fascinating is the context. Epinesa was close to signing with the Cleveland Browns back in April, but the deal fell apart after he failed his physical. That explains exactly why the Bears brought him in to work out first before committing to anything. They are not signing someone blindly. They want to see him move. They want real data. Biggs described it perfectly. This visit falls somewhere between genuine interest in adding to the position and performing due diligence on an emergency list. It's not an imminent signing. It's intelligence gathering. And it's important to see the full picture here. The Bears lost Dayo Odeyingbo and Shamar Turner to season-ending injuries. Those two are still recovering and won't be evaluated until later in the summer. Meanwhile, the group heading into OTAs today includes Montez Sweat, Austin Booker, Jeremy Croma, and Daniel Hardy. Is that enough to be a top 10 pass rush in 2026? I don't think so. But the coaching staff says that with better technique coaching, better fundamentals, and better health, this group can make a real jump. And I respect that confidence because Ben Johnson is not the type to speak empty words. But I'm also a Bears fan, and I remember what I watched on that defensive line last season. Here's the reality. If Odeyingbo and Turner come back healthy and Booker keeps developing, there's something there. But if that doesn't happen, they need Epinesa. They need Josh Sweat, or they need somebody. Because getting to the quarterback in this NFC North is not optional anymore. It is mandatory. All right. While the D-line is the main drama of the day, ESPN decided to step into the tight end universe and published 4 mock trade proposals for Cole Kmet. Panthers, Ravens, Chiefs, Dolphins. All of them offering combinations of second, third, and fourth round picks in 2027 and 2028. None of them included a player coming back to the Bears. And ESPN's Bears reporter Courtney Cronin evaluated every single one of them and turned them all down. The best offer, she said, was from Miami. A 4th and a 6th rounder in 2027. And even that she rejected. And y'all don't understand, she is absolutely right. And let me tell you why this whole exercise bothered me from the jump. Yes, Colston Loveland is already ranked among the best tight ends in the NFC North. That's a rising star who deserves every rep. But that does not mean Cole Kmet is expendable. Not even close. Ben Johnson's offense runs more 12 and 13 personnel than almost any other team in the league. That means 2 or 3 tight ends on the field at the same time, constantly. If Kmet leaves, rookie Sam Roush becomes the TE2. And he is almost certainly nowhere near ready for that responsibility. And then who plays TE3? Steven Carlson, an undrafted rookie? That's not a plan, that's a prayer. On top of that, the number nobody is looking at closely enough, after restructuring his contract, Kmet only counts $7,775,000 against the salary cap. That is absurdly affordable for what he brings. Elite blocker in heavy personnel sets, mentor for Loveland, mentor now for Roush, and the longest tenured player on this roster alongside Jalen Johnson. Ryan Poles said it himself after the draft. Nothing changes as far as our feelings with Cole. It's not just whatever spot he is on the tight end depth chart, but his leadership and what he means to this team. That's a GM telling you in plain English that this guy isn't going anywhere. Those ESPN proposals are fun to talk about. But trying to buy that kind of value with 3rd and 4th round picks in 2028 is not a serious offer. Kmet stays in Navy and Orange. And if something happens to Loveland, Kmet can step right back into that TE1 role without missing a beat. And since we're already talking about possible moves, Pro Football Network put TJ Edwards on their 2026 trade candidate list. The argument is straightforward. The Bears have been prioritizing speed on defense this offseason. And Edwards, at 29 years old, with an LB impact score that dropped to 77.1, the worst he's posted since 2020, doesn't perfectly fit that speed philosophy. And on top of that, he couldn't stay healthy last year. Hamstring issue, hand surgery during the regular season, then an ankle and fibula injury in the playoffs. He only played in 10 games. Look, Edwards is a smart, physical linebacker, 67 tackles, 1 interception, solid against the run. But if the Bears are building a speed-based defense under Dennis Allen, and they already have Devin Bush, Keyshawn Elliott from the draft, and Noah Sewell coming back healthy, the question of how much room there is for Edwards is a fair one. Trading him after June 1st would save the Bears $8.5 million in cap space. That's money that could go toward, I don't know, a defensive end who can actually get to the quarterback. I'm not saying the trade is done. Poles doesn't move pieces without a real reason. But this is a name to watch over the next few weeks as OTAs play out. Look, this is where we stand today at Hollis Hall. The D-line needs help, and the Bears know it. The question is whether Poles is going to wait and see what they've got in OTAs, or whether he's about to pick up that phone and call Arizona. I want that Josh Sweat trade. Fam, I want both Sweats on this defense. Give me that combo, and I'm buying the jersey the same day. Tell me down below, do we make the move for Josh Sweat, or do we trust what we've already got? Drop your answer in the comments and leave that like on your way out, because if you made it this far, you're living this offseason the same way I am. Heart wide open, bear down, Da Bears.